Good evening. Welcome to Music Minute from Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry here, and we're glad that you've joined us as we take a look at our online hymns for tomorrow. We're going to start with Shout to the Lord. So maybe a little more contemporary for some of us. I bet our youth know this very well. I think we do it know pretty well here at Epiphany as well. As Pastor Philip would point out, you need to check out the composer's name, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it has all consonants except for one vowel. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters long, I think. So that's kind of unique. Darlene, the composer, sang, danced, and produced commercials. So you might have seen her, and you didn't even know it, in a McDonald's commercial, KFC, Special K, and Diet Coke. So that was before she did Shout to the Lord. And this actually came, she started fronting for gospel bands in Australia. And this is really arguably more of a solo piece, a solo hymn to be sung. It's easier as a solo hymn. And you'll notice from some of the range, it's really low in the register. And so many find it difficult to sing as an assembly hymn. But I think it's one that we enjoy. And so we're going to go with the piano version of Shout to the Lord. All right, next we're going to move to Holy God, Holy and Glorious. And we did this, if you are keeping tabs, a couple of months ago. And this actually is a very special hymn. Its words came from a poem that was written for a man employed by the ELCA, and it was as he was dying. So you will see that Martin Luther would call this the theology of the cross is present in this song as we look at God's glory and majesty that are hidden under opposites. For instance, you'll see the eternal word becoming frail flesh, or you might hear the strength revealed in weakness. So it's really great juxtapositioning of words. So we're going to flip over to the organ for this one. It is a newer hymn, having just been recently written in the past couple decades, with words by Susan Briel, and then Robert Buckley Farley did the tune, and he was the former editor-in-chief for Augsburg Fortress. So we'll head over to the organ now. And last but not least will be one that is familiar to probably most everyone. This is Love Divine, All Loves Excelling. And probably the biggest fact on this one is how do you pronounce the tune name? The tune name is Hyfrydol. And Jake got it right instantly tonight. I was very impressed. So it is no Y sounds at all. Hyfrydol is how that comes out. So this is Probably one of the most, if not the most used hymn in hymnals across Christianity. This is a Charles Wesley hymn again, and arguably this would be maybe his most famous, quote unquote, or most commonly heard, if you take out Christmas and Easter. So this captures the essence of saint and sinner, if you look at the words on that, which is wonderful as we listen to that. So this is going to be variations on that. You're going to get an intrada, which will be sort of a fanfare kind of sounding thing. Then there'll be a more reflective sort of pastoral. And then we're going to have a fluty dance. And then we'll end with something pretty big. And the pedal is pretty amazing and goes all over the place on this one. So it's loud. You might have to listen closely for the melody to hear where it bounces back and forth. hopefully you could find the melody somewhere in there. So thanks for joining us again this evening. And if you're going to join us online tomorrow, that is on Facebook or YouTube at 10:30. And in person, of course, is at 9 and 10:30. And those do require signups before you get here. Hopefully we'll see you in some fashion. Take care. We'll see you next week.